Jordan Eberroa here, Artichoke Automation, and today I want to talk a little bit about what things we are doing in our practice that can actually be hurting our business. Let's face it, you got into practice to be able to help people and share your gift of healing with the world. Totally get it, makes sense. One of the most important things that I think is really important to understand, though, is you can only do that if you continue to be a successful business, right? You can't help people if you don't have the business to sustain it. And I think you get this, right? Everybody gets this in its theory and its concept. However, we do subtle things that actually hurt the business. So today I want to talk about these 7 deadly sins that you're probably doing, at least one of them, that are actually killing your business. The first thing is solely relying on your team to capture your leads. Now think about this for a second. Most practices, they get leads through word of mouth, referrals, all of these different things, and those are all great. But what happens? We send people to our website and we hope that they'll call us, or we hope that they'll schedule online. What happens to the people we can't answer the phone for? What happens to the people who want to message us in the middle of the night, who want to call us in the middle of the night? That's when they're struggling with things. That's when they're thinking about things, but they can't call us then. Are we capturing those leads in some capacity? Are we capturing their information in some way, shape, or form? If you're solely relying upon your team members to be able to capture all of the leads who are interested, then that's something that's going to be killing your business. The second thing is, are you doing Excel follow-up? Meaning once you capture those leads and they say, hey, I'm not quite ready yet, or I'm interested, but I'm not sure, are you putting those leads onto an Excel sheet and then trying to manually follow up with them? And I think we've all been there, right? I've seen so many different practices who, when we first start working together, what they have is they have a multi-colored rainbow of Excel sheets, all color coordinated, and we followed up with this person on this day and this day and this, and it will always fall through the cracks. People will fall through the cracks because we're relying upon a color coding system inside of an Excel sheet that's manually being followed up with by one person in the office. But what happens if that person calls out sick one day? What happens if that person's no longer able to be there? What happens if they're misunderstanding or whatever it may be? People will fall through the crack if we are Excel following up with people. The third thing is, are you relying solely on new leads? Does your business thrive only on your success of getting new leads? Because if it is, you're missing out an entirely wide range of people who you already have in your database. People who have called in, people who have messaged, people who have come in for a first patient visit but that didn't continue on, people who are in the middle of treatment but fallen off care plan. Those people are so valuable. And if you're only focusing on getting new leads, then you're missing out on so much potential that you already have inside of your database. The fourth thing is hoping that an email and a confirmation text will do everything necessary to prepare your new patients for their first visit. This is something I see all of the time. And what happens is some people show up, but they're just not prepared. Some people don't show up, and we all struggle with it. And we all get angry with it. Oh, why didn't this person show up prepared? Or how can we have so many no-shows? You can control who shows up. You can control the type of person and the mentality in which they show up for. I worked with so many different practices where just implementing a simple process to get people to show up more prepared actually increased the number of total patients that they had and dramatically changed their life. And if you're interested, hit me up. I'll tell you more about that story. It's actually really fascinating and really interesting about what we did and how we did it there. But if you're solely relying upon one email and one confirmation text, then you're missing the boat on being able to create your ideal patient. The fifth thing, letting your new patients walk out the door of their first visit without some sort of onboarding. Similar to where we're preparing them to show up, if they're not walking away with something that they can look at, read, listen to, watch, then you're missing an opportunity to continue to teach them more about what you do and invite them to be part of your family, not only for now, but for long term. You're creating a pattern of success by having an onboarding process. The sixth thing, assuming that your patients are constantly thinking about you. Sending a birthday reminder is fantastic. An anniversary reminder is fantastic. But what are you doing in between your visit to those birthdays to the next visit? What are you doing that keeps you top of the mind awareness? for them, because it's so, so valuable and so important. If they're not hearing from you on valuable things that can benefit and provide value in their life, they're going to look for it in some other place. So you might as well be the one sharing that information so that they're thinking about you. They know that you care more about just than that visit, and they're willing to come back over and over and over again. And the seventh and final deadly sin that most practices are doing that are actually killing their business is they're never asking their patients how their experience went. They're never asking them, how did it go? Can you give us a referral? Can you tell us on 1 to 10 how it went? And based on that information, can you give us some feedback? What could we have done better? Or you gave us a 10, can you give us a referral? Can you give us a review? So those are the 7 deadly sins that most practices are doing that are actually hurting their business. And one of the fascinating things about all 7 of those things is you're probably looking at it going, oh man, I just don't have the time to be able to invest in doing those things. I don't have the time to be able to keep up with those things. 100%. That's why they invented a thing called automation. And automation tools that are out there that will allow you the ability to do all of those things, or to not do all of those things, I should say, but to enhance and improve all of those things automatically without you having to watch it or babysit it. And that's the fascinating thing about it. So those are the 7 deadly sins that can very easily be shifted from a weak thing in your practice and in your business to a strength using the power of automation. If you're interested at all in learning more about that, then go ahead and click on the button below. But hopefully, just looking at that now, you'll be able to recognize, look at, and start to make some adjustments and changes and stop doing those 7 deadly sins that are killing your practice.